family members, there is now two things which the sporting world is anticipating. Resumption of IPL and the current situation involving Virat Kohli. Now, there were a lot of reports circulating yesterday that Virat Kohli was asking the BCCI to not consider him for the England series and that he wants to retire from the test format. Many people are trying to convince him. Ambati Rayudu is trying to tell him that test cricket needs him more. Brian Lara is saying that test cricket needs him more. Now the BCCI is apparently, there are a lot of reports saying that the BCCI is trying to ensure and trying to persuade Virat Kohli to reconsider his retirement decision. But he is not yet reverted to that. Now, any time between May 16th and May 19th, you are going to see the India squad being picked for the 5-test England series as well as for the England Lions tour. In that, what is going to happen? If Virat Kohli is not picked, then most likely his test career is over. He will join Rohit Sharma in those ranks. Will Virat Kohli retire or will he reconsider? It is up to the player. As I have mentioned in the previous lives, if Virat Kohli is picked, it is not a surprise. If Virat Kohli is not picked, then also it won't be a surprise. Because his test form for the last 4-5 years, barring one season, has not been that great at all. So that is why Virat Kohli at this point in time, he's in the crossroads. For someone to say that don't consider him for tests, which is still reports, he's officially never said anything on record. Virat Kohli, it's now up to him, it's now up to the BCCI. If it sticks by his decision, then BCCI will have to look at a new number 4. Who can the new number 4 be? Karun Nair, Shreyas Iyer, who? That is the current situation that the BCCI find themselves in if Virat Kohli doesn't reconsider his decision. But has he considered his decision? Has he reconsidered the decision or has he indeed put out plans to retire? That we will not know until and unless the team selection is being done. Now, as far as IPL 2025 is concerned, you are now having a race against time. IPL was initially suspended for 1 week. The foreign players have all gone back home or are on vacation in some other place. At this point in time, Arun Dhumal, who is part of the IPL, he is the IPL chairman, he has mentioned, only when we consider the stakeholders, will we talk to the foreign players about their availability, then and only then we will take a decision on the IPL resumption. But looking at how Pakistan violated the ceasefire yesterday, right as of now as we speak, there is no ceasefire violations. Everything is steady along the western border. Now, what will happen will in the Operation Sindoor campaign will come to know only on Monday because there is a meeting between Pakistan and India DGMOs. If that happens and we come to know what is the current situation, probably after that we will come to know the status of the IPL. But at this point in time, IPL remains suspended for 1 week. Will they be able to resume? That is a different matter altogether because foreign player availability becomes a rather tricky note. As I had mentioned earlier yesterday, how will you convince the Australian and the South African players to come back? Because they also have a WTC final to prepare for. And you do know that they prioritize ICC events more. Then you have to look at other events. So that is why Australia and South Africa are a tricky situation at this point in time looking at the IPL resumption. We'll all come to know about it maybe by is the meeting going to happen today or on Monday? That we don't know yet because yesterday's ceasefire violations ensure that those plans may have to be put in the back burner. Maybe today there might be a meeting or tomorrow there might be a meeting. We might come to know about the status of the IPL resumption in the next couple of days. But in the PSL, Rishad Hussain, the Bangladesh bowler, he has recounted certain horrible instances of what the foreign players were undergoing. Tom Curran was stuck and he was crying in the airport as to how he can get back. 2-3 people had to convince him that, okay, please calm down, there will be arrangements made. Daryl Mitchell apparently told him that the situation was so scary that he will not go back to Pakistan under the present circumstances. As you are all aware, yesterday, Sydney Morning Herald, and we also did that story that yes, There was an apparent drone attack. There was an attack in Noor Khan base about just a couple of hours back. The Australian and New Zealand players had boarded the chartered flight from that particular airbase. And a couple of hours later, India destroyed that airbase. That was how irresponsible Pakistan were, putting people's lives at stake on a consistent basis. In the Superbet Classic Chess Tour that is happening in Bucharest, Romania, Gukesh suffered a big letdown. He lost to Maxime Vachier-Lagrave and now he has slid down in the rankings. Pragnananda, on the other hand, he drew with Bogdan Djic, and because of that now, he is in the joint lead with Fabiano Caruana and Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. But Gukesh losing to MVL and having gotten out of jail in the previous encounter against Bogdan Djic, it's now meant that he now faces a race against time. Pragnananda, on the other hand, is looking very, very strong in the Superbet Classic Chess Tour. There is also another major event happening, and that is the World Squash Championships. Veer Chotrani and Anahat Singh, they will be battling today, but they are up against very, very tough opponents. Anahat Singh is up against the Egyptian world champion. She's ranked number 5. And on top of that, Veer Chotrani is also up against a world champion. So, if they can beat the world champions in their game, Egypt currently is the powerhouse of squash. If they can beat them and progress ahead, then it will be a big, big event in Indian squash at least. So, lot of things to look forward to. IPL resumption, we'll be keeping a close eye on that. And on top of that, we'll be also keeping a close eye on what will Virat Kohli's decision be. Is he going to reconsider? Is he going to play on, or will he announce his retirement? That is the things we'll come to know probably in this defining week that's going to come up. So thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this video. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis.